30 years ago, I'd have beaten those kayaks in a rowing race. We're on our way from Christchurch to the Folly Inn, so let's go sailing.
Bye bye Christchurch. Have fun sailing. We're going for a little adventure.
Hello. Poor fish will be seasick.
And here's the choppy bit. There's it behind us, and almost as quickly as it starts, it finishes in 50 meters of water. Was that exciting?
Okay, maybe.
Oh, she's bored. No fish.
No fish. I'm not bored. Sun's out. It's cool now. We lost half of it.
Down to 7 knots. We had 15 a minute ago. Yeah, hopefully it'll come back. But the wind didn't come back. Disappointingly, we're out of wind. But we've got to get the cows, and the tide's going to turn. So
It might come back, it might not come back.
well, ahoy shipmates, and I'm sensing a frown of disapproval from Tom Cunliffe, because if you listen carefully you can hear the motor, and we're doing something called motor sailing right now. We still have the sails up, as you can see, but the moment we came through Hurst, the wind went from a nice steady 13 to 15 knots, which is grand. It was right on the beam, and we were just making really good progress, 4.5, 5 knots through the water. And as soon as we got past Hurst Fort, it just fizzled away and went to nothing. It went to 5, 6, down to 3 miles an hour, nothing at all. It's 11 o'clock now, and in about 15-20 minutes that tide's going to stop flowing with us, and it's going to turn and it's going to start going the other way, and it's going to go the other way at about 4 knots, which is pretty much as quick as we can go.
No fish.
I hate seafood. Well, ahoy shipmates, welcome back to the Solent. It's 2 hours 20 minutes since we started. What's that in?
It's 10 minutes since the last video, basically.
Yeah, alright, 10 minutes since the last one. 11:22. And you can't see it, but Newtown River is just a beam, which is to the side of us.
Show it to them.
I'll show it to you. Here we go. Newtown River. Join the view. There we go. That's Newtown River. That's Ella steering. And up there in front of us, around the next headland, will be cows. And that's our destination. Little bit of good news is the breeze has filled in. It's about 12 miles an hour at the moment. But we're making a nice steady 4 knots now with just the sail, so we managed to get the engine switched off again. Although the tide had turned against us, we made our way safely into the River Medina and up to the Folly Inn. Well, ahoy shipmates, welcome back to Enigma. It's Sunday morning, it's 9:15, and we're just getting ready to make our way back to Christchurch. Beautiful sunny morning, as you can see. We're going to have to make our way west down the Solent now, punching the tide for a couple of hours, and hopefully back into Christchurch for about 2 o'clock. We've had our best meal of the day, which aboard a boat was always breakfast. Nothing quite like a boat breakfast, is there? A little fry up in the morning just to clear the head and get you in the mood for the day. Yesterday evening we went across to the Folly Inn, which is behind me in the sun. You can't see that. Probably took us longer to pump up the rubber dinghy and row it to the Folly than it took us to have our meal and row back again. But anyway, that's another story. One of the 2 most stressful moments in sailing, getting out of somewhere, and the other one is getting into somewhere. But I think we'll be all right. So far, that looks like a successful leaving. Yeah. Well done. Sometimes we take advantage of flat water and shelter to get the sail covers off and the halyards attached and do the basic stuff. And sometimes we leave it to the last minute and end up with a real faff on our hands out at sea when we're bouncing around and you're clinging to the mast with both hands. But yeah. She's remembering Hailing Island now with her feet 2 feet off the ground as we went down waves trying to attach a halyard. That was a mistake we won't make again in a hurry. Sadly folks, as you can see, we are motor sailing. So a moment ago, before the camera battery ran out and my last costume change, I was just explaining that we were motor sailing. We're motor sailing out of necessity, don't get me wrong. We've got about 3 knots of current going that way, and we really need to get down there towards Yarmouth and Hurst by about 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. So we've got about 2 hours, and we've got to get about 7 or 8 miles down the Solent. So there's nothing we can do about it. We've got to crack on. I'm worried about motor sailing because motor sailing feels like it's like a gateway drug into motor ownership, because to start with you do it out of necessity like now, and then you start to do it a bit more often just to speed things up a bit. Then at some point, when the wind's particularly on the nose, you don't bother with the sails and you just motor. And then one day you wonder why you bother with the mast and sails anyway, and next thing you know you're a motorboat owner. So always a little concerned that we start to rely on motor sailing as a means for getting from place A to B. I'm fairly sure that not only did Tom Cunliffe not invent motor sailing, I bet he's not on speaking terms with the person who did, because I don't believe that Tom would approve of this. So Tom, if you are watching this, and I know you're not, I apologise now, but really I didn't think I had much of a choice. But anyway, motor sailing, the devil's work, isn't it? But it's sunny, and we're enjoying the view. That's cows disappearing very, very slowly. Very slowly into the background. And the engine is finally off. No more motor sailing. We're doing 3.6 knots over the ground, which is grand. We're doing 4.5 through the water, so we still have a knot against us. We can still feel the current not helping us, but we're making progress now. And this current is going to ease and then eventually go slack and hopefully around Hurst and be under us for the last leg back to Christchurch.
Tom Cunliffe would be proud of us.
You said not to mention.